Welcome to the Dabbler. Hello and welcome to episode number 3 of the Dabbler. Please welcome to my left my older brother Jeff, sitting in today, co-hosting.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Finally, I'm off shift.
Yeah.
Or beer league hockey.
Yes. Well, both are
Both
very
are
important.
Equally important.
Ben is still working.
Yeah, life of a tradesman there.
Yep. Just plumbing. Plumbing late at night.
Plumbing. You know what you're supposed to know to be a plumber, right?
What's that?
Crap goes downhill. Payday is on Fridays. And don't bite your fingernails.
Oh, very important. Don't bite your fingernails.
Absolutely.
Hadn't considered the ramifications of nibbling on the fingernails.
That's for you, Ben.
Well, yeah. So, how you been?
I've been good.
Yeah?
I've been good. Got off shift this morning, so a little tired. But good. I had a 3-hour nap, so I can't complain.
Nice.
But yeah, been good.
The nap a staple of the morning when you get home?
Pretty much. So I come home. Courtney normally has a pretty good breakfast for me. Hang out with the kids for about an hour. It's about the most that I can last, and then I'm crashing pretty hard. So then I'll take a little sleep aid and then crash. So 3 to 4 hours is a normal nap for me after that. Get up, enjoy the rest of the day.
Nice.
So
Beautiful.
yeah.
I am just started a massive interior paint job.
Oh, okay.
Trim, doors, cabinets, walls, ceilings.
Oh, yeah.
Like a 5,000 square foot house. Big job.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Just started it Monday. But, yeah, it's a good one.
That's good. Yeah, no, work was good. Long.
Any, I don't know, out of ordinary crazy calls?
Out of ordinary crazy. Not really. Mainly a lot of sick people. We had a fire last night, but that I did not get to go to because I was on the ambulance. But I will tell you, I was excited. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody was leaving. I was like, all right, I'm going to listen to this thing. So I turned the radio on, just laying in bed, listening to the radio. And I can kind of hear it building up. And I know how many apparatus are on scene. I'm like, okay, they have 2 medics, like 2 ambulances there. If they need one more, we might be the ones. Like, sure enough, like, hey, central dispatch, can you call in another ambulance? Like, oh, so I got up, threw my shorts on, I was ready to go. Like, I'm like, got my pants so that I can just put them inside the ambulance because I do not wear my duty pants underneath my turnouts. Too hot. I was ready to go.
Duty pants.
Duty pants.
I just wanted to make sure we recognize that as a term.
So I went out, and I'm just, like, hanging out right next to the ambulance. Not really to get in, because you'd totally jinx yourself if you get in. And, yeah, they called a different apparatus.
Jinxed yourself anyways.
I did, 100%.
Well, I'm glad you're excited at someone else's misfortune. It's very nice.
Well, I was excited to maybe save somebody. How about that?
Yeah.
That's my.
Speaking of danger, do you know, I know that you follow up on all the stuff going on in the area, but do you know if anybody was injured in the Gino building that fell down?
Nobody was injured.
Nobody was on site?
No one was on site.
Because the building collapsed, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
The whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Do we know at all why?
No idea.
That's insane.
It wasn't even a windy day.
No.
There was nothing that...
The building was like up.
Yeah. It's a little concerning.
Yeah.
Especially because Gino is building all the new fire stations for us.
Yep.
So that's...
I know I bid a couple of them.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
A couple of years ago, yeah. Yeah, that's sketchy.
Pretty sketchy.
For a whole building to fall down, like, it's either, I hate to say it, but it's either sabotage or a lot of people made mistakes.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like, from the engineers on down. Because, like, if the engineers are right and the trades made mistakes, it's still not going to fall down.
No, exactly.
But if the engineer's wrong and the trades do their job really well, it probably isn't falling down either.
Right.
So it means, like, a whole lot of people made a lot of mistakes for a building to fall down mid-construction.
Yeah.
Or it was sabotaged.
Sabotaged. The way that I look at it too is Swiss cheese, right? Like you've got holes going through your Swiss cheese.
Right.
Every once in a while, you have one that goes all the way through, and that's where your failures happen.
Nobody likes Swiss cheese, right?
It doesn't taste that great.
With mushroom and onions on a burger, maybe.
Okay, you sold me there. But you have to have the burger.
Did you go to Rome when we were in school?
I did not. No.
Oh. We had this ham that was questionable with Swiss and like this really hardcore large amounts of mustard on like a super, super dry roll for lunch every day.
Sounds awful.
Because we're Americans, we eat sandwiches, right?
Yeah.
And yes, Italians eat sandwiches, obviously, but like not like these like makeshift cold cut to go sandwiches like Americans eat.
Right.
So the priest that we went to Rome with told the people that we were staying with at the retreat house or whatever, oh yeah, we'll just have sandwiches every day for all the boys. And so they like made these absolutely awful sandwiches. They were so dreadful. Which is why we went elsewhere to get food.
Oh, I bet. I remember those stories.
Yeah.
I imagine the roof of your mouths were torn up.
Yeah, it was absolutely
not
terrible.
soft bread over there.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's not all. Like the dinner rolls, the dinner bread, with like the oil and vinegar that they eat every single day. Like that stuff was incredible.
I bet.
Like baked fresh every day.
Oh yeah,
it's incredible. But yeah, Swiss cheese now it's the least favorite, the least liked of all the cheeses.
Yeah,
not
a fan. Yeah. Anyways, we went from building construction to
welcome to the Dabbler.
I love it.
It's a lazy river.
You
just hop on board the lazy river, and where it takes you is where it takes you.
This is how our conversations always go, though.
It's true.
Dinner table conversations when we were kids.
Yeah.
Start off with something talking about school, and next we're talking about NFL.
Yeah.
NHL.
Yeah. Whatever comes up is what we're going to discuss.
Yeah.
Back on topic, though. The building fall down. That was absolutely crazy when that happened. Just like hearing that, I was like, what? An entire building fell over?
Yeah. Just, absolutely insane.
Thank goodness nobody was in it or under it. Because the building, what was it? I mean, a number of years ago now. Was it the Northern Quest Hotel or the Spokane Tribe?
Yeah, Spokane Tribe Casino. Hotel
fell and there was someone in it.
There was a construction worker in there.
Yeah,
she
died. Yeah. I think she was a drywaller.
No,
or
she was concrete finisher. That was like 4 years ago.
Yeah. That's a big concrete structure. Not like this Chino one must have been wood framed.
It was.
Yeah. Which makes even less sense or more. I don't know. They're both shocking.
They're both shocking. Concrete, I almost can understand a little bit more.
Almost, yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
Wood's not going to fall over just to fall over. I don't know.
Unless my only thought is just that bracing, engineering, something was wrong there.
I suppose. Still would take a lot.
Yeah.
Anyways, a couple of sad losses this week.
Oh, I know, the sports world. Man.
Dikembe Mutumbo, center. Do you remember Dikembe Mutumbo?
I do
remember the finger wag?
I do remember the finger wag.
No. That guy was awesome.
I remember the battles that he and Shaq had for a little bit there.
Definitely, me too.
Those were good times.
Yeah, he was good. He was on that Allen Iverson Sixers team.
Yeah. Allen Iverson.
Yeah. But yeah, Shaq to this day, I've heard him in several interviews say, I'm actually really interested to hear what he has to say about Dikembe passing.
Right.
Probably pretty moved by it because he had a lot of respect for Mutumbo.
Yep.
In a lot of interviews, he would say like the best person who ever guarded him was Mutumbo.
Yeah, Mutumbo wasn't built like him either. So
no,
it took a lot.
Quite a bit shorter.
Yep.
A lot less weight.
He had big shoulders.
Just a big, strong African dude, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He. I don't remember him being a powerful offensive player.
No, I mean he was a good rebounder offensively and defensively, so he like put back game for sure.
But he couldn't pick up the ball
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he wasn't handling the ball. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Really good player though. Great defensive player.
Yeah.
Died at the age of 58. Brain cancer. I didn't even know he was sick.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
That's not frustrating, but it's just sad.
You know what I heard? I heard today listening to a podcast that kind of talking about him, people who like knew of him
Yeah.
back in the day, like more about him. Apparently he was like full of life and was like the first like African born player to come over here and have like tons of personality
Oh, okay.
and like
Yeah.
really like push the envelope with being like super charismatic with everybody, super goofy, silly, but he also like was known for like all of his charitable contributions, named a hospital after his mom and a like some sort of foundation for African youth after his dad, like just huge charitable organizations. He was like known for it. I didn't know that either till today. But
I did know that he was pretty heavy into charitable organizations. I can't remember when. I want to say 6-7 years ago. It just happened to come across my feed, and I kind of followed into it. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy, he cares about people. Yeah. That's sometimes some of our sports leaders or sports stars, they do not care about people.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that's a little rough sometimes.
It's always hard to like, as a fan and outside looking in, it's hard to differentiate between like, are you starting a charitable organization because it's a tax write-off and you need to, or because you really, really, really care about it?
Right.
Or a little bit of both. Because I think a lot of times it's both.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're like, I have all this money, I want to do good, and also if I don't, I'm going to pay tens of millions of dollars in taxes every year.
It's true.
And I don't want to do that.
It's true.
You can tell the ones that are like, where it has like this really deep like personal connection, whatever they're fighting for, whether it's Alzheimer's because of a parent or suicide because of family, whatever, you know.
Yep.
You can tell that, but otherwise you're like, And maybe I'm just pessimistic because I can be for sure. I think like, oh, so and so has a foundation. I'm like,
with the amount of foundations that are out there too.
Yeah.
I think where you really see it is how involved they are. Are they just part of it? Are they just fronting the money? Or like I just keep thinking of about Kobe, like Kobe's foundations. Always was hanging out with the kids.
Yeah.
Always doing stuff with them. That man truly did care. That's kind of how I feel about it.
I mean, once he stopped playing basketball, I cared for sure.
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean. He was very one-track minded. When he played basketball, he was just playing basketball.
That's all he cared about. Yeah.
It reminds me of Chris Rock sitting next to him, cracking jokes in his ear.
Yeah.
And the man is just like steel. He does not move.
I love that clip.
It's the best.
I love that clip.
It's the best.
Because if Chris Rock's barking in your ear, you're laughing.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I was laughing just watching.
Yeah. I don't even know what he said.
No.
I was cracking up.
The best part is Chris Rock was cracking himself up.
Yeah, he was. Of course. I think David Spade was next to him rolling in laughter too.
Right.
The other loss, Pete Rose.
Oh, man.
This side? Nope.
That side. Yep.
Pete Rose, the hit king. Quite the, what do you want to say? Infamous? Quite the...
Yeah, I'd say infamous.
Yeah, just great baseball player. Not that you and I watched him.
No, unfortunately.
This was a long time ago. But the stat, I mean, he still has the most hits of all time.
Yep.
And, you know,
best hair in baseball, too.
Yep. Hustled a lot. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing with him not being in the Hall of Fame, I don't understand why he was never forgiven for betting on baseball. There's guys getting into the Hall of Fame that use PEDs.
Right.
And they were like guilty of PEDs.
Yes.
Like found guilty and admitted to it. The one thing that I think about the Pete Rose thing, if he lied less about it.
Yes, that would be it.
It would have been fine, but he was like, no, I never gambled on baseball. And then it was proven that he did. And he's like, well, I did, but I never bet on my own team. And then it was proven that he did. And he was like, well, I bet on my own team, but never against my own team.
Always to win.
And it's like, well, like when do the lies,
right?
like when are the lies, you know, like that probably really worked against him. Still, like, I still think that the Hall of Fame, like clutching their pearls and holding onto their moralities to not allow a baseball player in who was incredibly dominant.
Oh, 100%.
Is a little silly.
I think
the Baseball Hall of Fame is not the, you know, it's not the morality or virtue Hall of Fame. Like he broke the rules.
Right.
Banned from baseball for life. And that's fine. But does that mean he's banned from the Hall of Fame? Like, I don't know. I think they're
That's
just
rough.
holding a grudge because baseball
so.
can be a little stiff.
Yeah, and baseball, I think a lot of it goes back to still the injury from the Black Sox when they threw the World Series. That's where a lot of your rules came in on the gambling.
Yeah.
So I think
And it makes sense.
it does. But they did gamble to throw the World Series. Totally different in my mind.
Yeah.
But they did add the verbiage of no gambling.
Yeah, and it was up front.
Yeah.
Just like
He
if
knew
you
he
gamble
was
on
against
baseball, you will be banned for life.
Yeah. Now,
So,
that
like-
being said, though, Pete Rose, if he were even in the MLB now, he would be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I mean, it seems that way. I hate like being super like headstrong in my opinions on someone I never watched.
Right.
Which is why, like, if people ask me who the top 5 basketball players of all time, I'm not naming Bill Russell.
True.
I mean, he was 6'5", playing against plumbers. I don't like. I don't know what that was like.
I don't know what it was like either. Right.
And I'm not gonna say Wilt Chamberlain. Do I think he had 100 points in a game? No.
No.
Show me proof that he
Yeah.
had 100 points. Show me proof he had 50 points in a game. Like, there's no proof of anything.
Exactly.
So, like, I don't know. I just, like, when I never saw anybody, I'm like, well, unless there's, like pretty incredible records, like the most hits of all time.
Yeah.
When we've seen some incredible hitters,
Oh, absolutely.
and they haven't eclipsed Pete Rose or really come close.
No, not even close.
And he just died, and he was 80.
3, I believe.
Yeah, I think
83.
so, like, that record has been around for, what, 50 years?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That is a very long time.
But yeah, in honor of those two passing, I have a couple of top 5 lists for you
Ooh, I like
and
it.
for the audience.
I like that a lot.
First one is in honor of Dikembe and Mutumbo. We will do top 5 defensive centers
Oh,
in the
defensive
NBA.
centers.
Yeah, and like I was just saying, don't expect there to be people on here that I haven't watched because
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna have a strong opinion about somebody I did not watch.
Right.
So, here's my list. At number 5, Mr. COVID himself, Rudy Gobert.
There you go.
Good defensive player.
Yeah.
Number 4, Tim Duncan.
Yep. Tim Duncan. He was a very good offensive player, too.
Incredible.
But-
He's also in my top 5
But-
centers of all time list.
I would say if he had more of a priority or more of an importance of a role, it was defensive.
I think it was just leadership, but
Maybe that too.
trickles into defense
Absolutely.
for sure. Number 3, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rebounding, of course,
Yes.
is a big part of that. But yeah, number 3, Dennis Rodman. Number 2, Dikembe Mutombo.
Yep.
And number 1, Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
You remember Big Ben
I remember
Wallace?
Big Ben with that
Of the
big smile.
Pistons?
And he had his
Yeah.
gaps in his teeth. Oh,
And he would either have the massive 8-inch fro, or he would put cornrows and a
That's
headband
right.
on.
Yes.
You never knew game to game.
You never
what
knew.
what he was going to come with.
I did like him with Detroit.
And then he started doing the fro with the headband that was up high, so the fro just went like this, and it was like a big.
I do remember
Remember
that.
that? That was funny.
Oh, those were good times.
That Pistons team was good.
They were very good.
So yeah, that's my top 5.
Okay.
And then in honor of Pete Rose, the Hit King, as he was nicknamed, all-time
Absolutely.
hits leader, I'm going to do the top 5 hitters in the MLB. And again, don't expect there to be guys on here
No Ty Cobb?
that had a part-time job as an electrician.
There you go.
Like I don't know. Sorry, Babe Ruth. Sorry, Ty Cobb.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at number 5, Miguel Cabrera.
Oh, yes.
At number 4, Albert Pujols. Just retired.
Just retired. Great first baseman.
Good first baseman. Good hitter.
And then DH.
Yeah. Number 3, P. Rose.
Oh, Pete Rose.
I have 2 in front of P. Rose.
I was wondering.
Number 2, played for, let's see if you can guess it. Played for the Mariners.
Okay.
Foreign.
Edgar Martinez.
I don't think he was foreign.
It was Hispanic.
It will say, let's say foreign.
Foreign. Oh, Ichiro.
Yeah. Ichiro Suzuki.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2. That dude, the craziest quote I ever heard. Well, first, in his, let's see, I think it was his 10th at bat of his career. He got his 3rd hit,
Okay.
which gave him a 300 batting average. The rest of his career, he never dipped under 300. insane.
That is insane.
Like no slump big enough to dip you under 300 after that. After your 10th at bat.
That's amazing.
It's insane.
That is amazing.
Ichiro Suzuki number 2.
Speaking on Ichiro, that drag bunt of his, where he's like halfway down the baseline still when he's bunting.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Super cool.
The amount of hits he got because of that.
You remember how many times we tried that in our yard?
Oh yeah.
When we would bat left-handed, because if you pulled a high ball from the left side of the plate, hitting left-handed, it would go out over the yard, which was a home run.
Yep.
But if you hit one to the other side, right-handed, and further, it was not an automatic home run, because then you had to run and do all that.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And Steven was running all over the place.
Right. Yeah. So we would bat from the left side just to...
Yeah.
But also, practices of drag bunts for sure.
Yeah.
Never good at that.
Never.
I could drag one from the right side probably, but you can't run to third after you bunt.
You'd be going the wrong way.
And then number 1, any guesses?
Derek Jeter.
No.
I just wanted
Derek
to see.
Jeter.
I wanted to see the little bit of disgust on your face.
I actually like Derek Jeter.
I do too. Number 1.
He had a better career dating than he did as a baseball player.
This is true. This is true. He never missed.
Best lineup of all time. No, number 1, Barry Bonds.
Oh, Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barry Bonds.
Are you talking pre-PED or
both?
Okay, I like it.
Doesn't matter. Post PEDs, he had like more walks than he had singles, and he had I don't know what that was the year he had 74.
Yeah.
Or whatever. No one will ever have a season like Barry Bonds had that year. PEDs or not, doesn't really matter to me.
Not anymore.
I don't care. Also about PEDs.
Yep.
I wish baseball would be like, hey, like the NFL, be like, nah, we're just not going to test for it anymore.
This is just the new.
Because who cares?
Yep.
If everyone has access to it, who cares?
And like,
why does it matter one way or the other?
Let's get real. They're using creams. They're using everything possible. And also,
they're always a step ahead of the tests.
And there's so many steroid creams out there that is just for inflammation. Mm-hmm. That now you've got to get these guys to stay away from that. You possibly could be injuring them for further in their career. Let's just get with the times. Let's let it happen. Obviously, they're making their money.
Yeah, I think maybe it's like for like someone who's healthy all year, or like maybe there's like some sort of a like application process to use, right? If you're like, hey, got a little banged up in Tuesday's game at Milwaukee, would like to take some HGH to get back to my full self quicker than later.
Yeah.
Which is good for the league, good for the TV audience, good for the fact that baseball's a dying sport.
Yes, 100%.
And more offense means more fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Neither would
How
I.
great would it be if, like, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani were chasing the home run title? Like, were battling for the home run title and they had, like, 75 in the last week. It would be incredible.
It'd be incredible. Oh, I would love that.
Like, who cares? Give them a little bit of pop.
Yep.
Who cares? The pitchers are unbelievable these days.
Yeah.
Like, there's not that many players batting really well.
Right.
Like, most players are batting in the mid 200s.
Yeah. I want to hit the fact that the pitchers are so much better. And the technology that they're still using wood bats. These guys are still able to hit the ball. Pitchers are that much better. Technology is able to get them more dialed in.
Absolutely. Everybody throws harder.
Yeah.
Like, you got starters, relievers, closers all throwing 100 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now 105 is the goal, right?
Yeah. It's crazy. This has been a lot of baseball talk. Big baseball show.
It is. Well, we grew up playing baseball.
But Pete Rose.
And
Pete Rose passed away. We got to talk about baseball.
Absolutely.
Let us move on to the Dabbler Dozen.
All right. Baker's Dozen?
As you know, not a Baker's Dozen.
Okay.
Nope.
You know where that came from, right?
The Baker's Dozen? Mm-hmm. Can I guess?
Yeah.
I would guess that there was a baker at one time who was a big fat dude. And he would bring himself home a dozen donuts every day and eat them off. And then one day he decided, I think 12's not enough. Maybe I'll have 13th.
Yeah.
And all the farmers were like, excuse me, a dozen eggs? Like, dozen's just a good number. And he's like, sorry, this is a baker's dozen.
I honestly, I like your reason.
I
thought you were going to go another route.
That's not it?
No, I thought you were going to say he was bringing home a dozen and he ate one on the way. So then he could just have
Ooh, I
another
like
one
that
at home.
much. A little snack donut.
Yeah,
So that his wife didn't see him eating the 13th.
exactly. Oh, see,
How many? We've all been there.
Trust me,
You go get food for the family. Like, man, I'm gonna just get an extra burger and
a little
eat
bit
this
here.
one on the way home.
Nobody's gonna
Yeah.
know. No, though, what it came from
Yeah.
is the bakers. There's so many times when they're pulling things out that things are dropping. Well, the donuts, they have to pull them out of the hot oil every time that they're cooking them, and they notoriously drop them because they're hot. So they do a baker's dozen, thinking that. At least that's what it was explained to me. But
That's cool.
yeah.
I like that.
So we have a term at the fire service, mainly Casey.
Hey, real quick.
Go for it.
We are about to have a special guest.
Oh, I love it.
The first returning guest
I love it.
of the podcast.
Is this B Rice?
Mr. Bryce Gary
Oh,
is about to call in. Hasn't called in yet, so apologize for cutting me off.
That's all right.
But yeah, Bryce, you are a USC Trojans fan,
I am.
as am I.
Yep.
As is Bryce. Here he is.
All right.
Let's see what he has in store for us today. Bryce,
What's going on, fellas?
hey, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
What's going on, man?
Not a lot. How's it going, guys?
Really good. I have Jeff with me here today.
Jeffrey, it's been a while.
It has. How are you, Bryce?
I'm doing well.
This is good.
Hey, Bryce, we're a big baseball show now. I don't know if you know that.
You're what?
We're a big baseball show now.
Is that so?
Yeah. Well, as I'm sure you know, the hit king, Mr. Pete Rose, passed away yesterday.
Yes.
And so in honor of him, I did a little top 5 hitters of all time list. And then we, had a large discussion about Pete Rose and about baseball and about PEDs and about all kinds of things.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Had to, honor Pete Rose somehow.
Yeah.
Big baseball show over here.
Absolutely.
And Dikembe Mutumbo.
Yeah,
we talked about that too. Yeah. Yeah, you missed the top 5 defensive centers of all time.
Ah, dang it.
I know, riveting stuff.
Yeah.
How are you been, Bryce?
Doing well. Yeah, it was a good weekend on Saturday over here. It wasn't a great weekend on Sunday, but
yeah,
Saints are coming back down to earth. I'll put it that way.
It seems like the Saints need Taysom Hill to be healthy to counteract some of Derek Carr's boring mumbo jumbo.
Derek Carr puts me to sleep.
Yeah, I mean that's
Derek
what he
Carr
does.
is like when you put on golf when you're hungover on Sunday.
It's like
you know you're gonna take a nap.
Yeah,
Derek Carr is the nap channel.
Yeah, but seriously, like half the defense was out. It makes me think about how valuable Demario Davis is too. I mean, that was his first missed start in 13 years.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest factor in all of football is availability.
Oh, for sure.
Anyway, let's get right down to business, Bryce. USC double-digit win over Wisconsin after a devastatingly poor first half.
You know, I was actually doing grocery shopping when that happened, so I'm glad I didn't get to see it.
But grocery shopping on a Saturday during the Trojans game?
Yeah, no, that's a thing, I guess. But no, grocery shopping, and then came back, and I guess they figured I was watching, so they shut him out in the second half.
Yeah. Since when has USC been a second half team?
And a team that can hold an opponent to 0 points for a half.
Yeah, that too.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely last year. No.
Yeah. Yeah, if they're playing a girls' middle school team.
Yeah, U of I should be on the schedule.
Yeah, it should be. In the grand scheme of the season, where do you think this game ranks? Like, do you think it's like a pretty important bounce back game, considering the second half comeback, or do you think it's something that we all expected and they just got off to a slow start?
It's something I was a little torn coming into this game because it's a must-win game. I mean, we all know in college football, 2 losses and you're done. But when there's an inferior opponent coming into town with a backup quarterback as well, I mean, you got to go out there and you got to take care of business. I mean, they let Wisconsin hang around for a half, but I'm glad that they finally made some adjustments at halftime and they were able to, shut them out in the second half and escape with a pretty comfortable win. The pick six at the end was definitely nice to see, encouraging going into next week.
Yeah, that was nice. You were kind of texting me about the game, and I was out and about with the family. Didn't watch it at all, and I just like hopped onto ESPN to check. It's like, oh, we won by whatever it was, 17.
17, yeah.
I was like, oh, 17-point win, and I was like, yeah, pretty good win. And you're like, yeah, dreadful first half. And then I like went back and kind of looked at the play-by-play and some of the analysis of the game. I was like, oh shit, we did not start the game well at all.
Oh, the turnovers were pathetic.
And apparently the Boo Birds were out on the way into the tunnel after the first half.
Good. Good.
Yeah, good.
Just like Philadelphia.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so what do you think of USC's game this weekend?
I mean, kind of the same thing. I put Minnesota in the same tier as Wisconsin. I did just watch that Minnesota-Michigan game last weekend. Michigan was winning pretty comfortably at home.
Yeah, that just seemed like Michigan took the foot off the gas big time.
I think so, and that's the thing that's so frustrating about that loss is that Michigan is such a spotty team, and they play a totally boring style of football.
We just couldn't stop the run that game. Like you just got to chalk
Correct.
that. You got to chalk that win up for Michigan. Like Michigan, what they throw for 36 yards, if that.
Yeah, less than 40. I know that.
Yeah, like if USC is not going to stop the run, they're not going to win games. And it was looking that way against Wisconsin, and they pulled it around. Hopefully, it's a sign of things to come. But yeah,
I think so.
I agree with you. I think Minnesota is not going to be an issue. And then we play at Washington, huh?
Minnesota, and then Penn State at home.
Oh, yeah. That's a big game.
That's a huge game. That's a turning point in the season game.
Definitely. Anyways, man, how's the family going? Any other thoughts on college football as a whole?
I would say that the Georgia-Alabama game definitely did not disappoint. It started out pretty bad.
What do you think the percentage of people that watch the entirety of that game is?
I would say about 90% of avid football fans turned it on, and about 30% were left watching after halftime.
Yeah.
And then there was the oh shoot crowd.
Yeah.
Going into the third quarter. Hopefully people didn't leave the stadium and then try to get back in.
Yeah, the minute-to-minute TV ratings on that game must have been insane. Because it probably dropped massively at halftime. I turned it off. You turned it off.
No,
we were texting
there was no
about
reason to watch it. Yeah.
That was crazy. Would have been. It was almost the weekend of the almost comebacks.
Yeah,
Georgia almost came back and won against Alabama. The Packers almost came back and won against the Vikings.
The Seahawks attempted against Detroit.
Yeah, that was a crazy game last night. The Seahawks are damn good.
They are good.
Yeah.
Some of those missed calls in that game, though. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they definitely looked lost in the first quarter.
Yeah.
You know, Eminem wasn't going to let them leave town with winning. Come on.
Yeah, sometimes Geno Smith needs a little pull start. You know what I mean?
Best quarterback in the league.
Yeah. Had quite the game last night.
Yeah.
That game was fun to watch. I love football. Give me 70-plus points in a game, and that's what I want. I don't want the Jets-Broncos snoozer 10-9. That is not football.
Well, and
even the Titans-Dolphins game was terrible.
Oh, yeah, dreadful.
I was going to say, apparently there was another Monday Night Football game on, but nobody watched it.
Nobody talked about.
That's funny. Yeah, what a bad break for the Dolphins and the Titans. Like, hey, we played too. Like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, no.
Don't remember.
The broadcast team on that game must have been so pissed.
It was Chris Fowler and it was somebody else. I forgot who it was.
Yeah. Chris Fowler. He's like, hey, can you just keep me on Saturday primetime, please? I would rather not do the second best Monday Night Football game.
Oh, man. Bryce, what'd you think of the Detroit Lions jerseys, those throwbacks?
Honestly, I love the jerseys. I thought those helmets were stupid.
I kind of like the helmets. The black lion was neat.
Really?
But, I mean, 1958 was like the last time they wore that. That's pretty awesome.
Okay. Well,
But
I mean, yeah, you can't hate the throwbacks.
But still, I was intrigued when I saw them run out. I'm like, oh, goodness, look at this.
If we're talking about...
Yeah, big Jared Goff, not a single incompletion last night.
I know.
He had more receiving touchdowns than he had incompletions in that game. It's a great stat.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Speaking of uniforms, the Falcons rocking the Dirty Birds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they need to do that once a year.
Yes.
I love those uniforms, the blacks with the red helmets. Oh, it just reminds me of Jamal Charles.
Yep.
Back in the day, or no, Jamal Anderson.
Jamal Anderson. Yeah.
Anderson, yeah.
Yeah. They're like, he was a big Dirty Bird dancer in the end zone in those uniforms.
Yeah.
That was cool. Anything, Bryce? Anyways, Bryce, anything else you got on your mind?
No, I mean, honestly, looking back, great weekend of college football. I will take 3 top 10 team losing any day of the week.
Yeah.
Just the excitement of it. I love Ole Miss losing. I love Lane Kiffin struggling. It's my favorite.
Oh, the best.
Yeah,
But-
I love that too.
Cap it off with a 2-4 matchup. But I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah. Bit of a calm before the storm weekend this weekend. Not a lot of good games. College game day is going to Miami, Cal.
Gross.
Yeah, going to Berkeley. But it's a slow college football weekend. But the weekend after that, put the kids to bed early. There's
Right.
some games. Actually, the next 2 weekends after that are insane.
Yeah.
I think the only game intriguing me this weekend is possibly Arkansas hosting Tennessee.
Yeah.
I want to see someone give Tennessee a run for their money.
Tennessee's going to destroy them. Tennessee's a really, really good football team.
They are.
I don't think the Razorbacks are going to do it.
No, I don't think so either.
Maybe for a quarter and a half.
Take it. Shut the game off.
Hey, Bryce, you obviously you do construction, right? You're a steel iron worker. Sorry, not a steel worker.
Iron worker, yep.
Did you hear about the building up here in Hayden that fell over? Completely,
I did not.
Completely collapsed.
They say why?
Not yet. It was some stick framed building that Gino Construction was building on Hayden Avenue, and it collapsed to the ground. I have no idea why.
Interesting.
Nobody got hurt. Nobody was on site, but pretty crazy. Was
it a newer building or?
Yeah, no, it was under construction.
Oh, well, somebody's out of a job.
A lot of people, perhaps.
Yeah.
Gino's probably.
No, I know we had a couple incidents, 3 or 4 years ago with, we had a tower crane fall over here. They were deconstructing it, and let's just say that some poor decisions ensued. People were in a hurry rather than doing things correctly, and the entire structure wound up falling over. Took the lives of 5 people total.
I think I remember you telling me about that.
I remember.
Yeah, 2 iron workers, the operator, and then 2 pedestrians in the street fell. Died when the tower crane fell. It was pretty tragic. The downtown Seattle was closed for like hours.
Yeah, that's tragic. Anyways, Bryce, thank you so much for calling in and joining us. I appreciate it. Back-to-back weeks with Mr. Bryce Gary on the ones and twos.
Thank you, dabblers.
Yeah. Next time you're in town, we got to get you in here in person. Looking forward to it.
Love to.
Right on, man. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Take care, Jeff.
Yeah, see you, Bryce. Nice talking with you.
You too, man.
Good job, Bryce.
Good times.
I
Good
like
times
talking
at
about
Bryce.
I don't talk
Lots
to
of
him
history.
enough. You know when like a good friend that you grew up with moves away, and it's
Yeah,
hard to stay in touch.
it is because your lives change
Yeah,
a ton. There's a lot of differences, but
everybody's so busy.
we all have sports that we can lean back on.
Yep. Yeah, it's like even if you don't talk to someone for like 6 months, like football season starts, and like the Cowboys Saints are playing, and Bryce texts me like, "Oh, big game this weekend." And
Absolutely.
I'm like, "Yeah, it is." And then it's just like right back to it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's kind of the purpose of this whole thing. The Dabbler is just stay connected.
Yep.
All
Stay connected.
all of us siblings staying connected. Some friends here and there as well.
Yeah.
We got to get Steven in here.
And Ben, eventually tonight.
He'll be here eventually. He's got to be closed off work now, but who knows? Tom's running him ragged,
Could be.
making him work the long days.
Does he have classes on Tuesdays? I was curious about
no,
that.
Thursdays.
Thursdays.
His
Okay.
school's on Thursday, yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Let's go through some football games.
Yeah.
Cowboys won. Terrible snooze fest of a game. Cowboys suck.
I don't know. Their running back situation is a mess.
It's terrible.
Absolutely terrible. And then CeeDee Lamb is good.
Yeah.
I
But
feel
there's
like
nobody else.
Yeah, I feel like they need somebody opposing him so that they can take some heat off of him.
Yep. Devontae Adams available for trade.
I saw that.
My eyes became Cowboy stars. I was like,
Do you think they're going to do it?
Devontae
There's
Adams?
a lot of money that
What are we going to trade for?
Well, I know.
But they said
Some picks?
they said they'd give him up for a second round pick.
I know.
Done.
Do it. It would be
He's too
that would be
expensive.
interesting. He's too expensive though.
There's no way we can afford to pay him. They'd be like a 1-year rental.
Yeah, that's true.
But maybe Amari Cooper in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Back to Dallas.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
There has to be somebody opposite CeeDee Lamb because right now
has to be.
it's a bunch of practice squad players.
Yeah. Because they spent all the money on CeeDee Lamb
and Dak and
and Zeke.
yeah. Well, Zeke's getting paid barely anything, but
That's true.
DeMarcus Lawrence out 6 to 8 weeks. Micah Parsons is apparently week to week, but it sounds worse than that. Probably we have 2 games. Let's see, week 5, week 6, and then a bye. Probably won't see him again until after the bye.
Probably not. And that's probably on purpose as well. Just
Yeah.
give him an extra.
But we just it doesn't matter.
I feel like injuries this year have been I don't want to say underreported, but like the timelines have been purposely shortened, and then they're constantly moving them forward.
yeah.
I don't know.
It's definitely trending that direction because the NFL doesn't follow through with their what's the word? Punishments for doing that.
Right, exactly.
Because teams are supposed to get fined a lot and even lose like draft spots
For being wrong on their
for not being transparent with their injury stuff. But the 49ers lied about Christian McCaffrey week 1.
yeah, he's
And-
absolutely got a tear.
Yeah. Well,
Tendonitis is
the
truthfully a
backup
tear.
was told on Friday that he was starting.
Yeah,
And we didn't find out till Sunday morning that Christian McCaffrey was
Right.
out. So it's like, well, he was supposed to be declared on the injury report Friday and Saturday and Sunday and wasn't
right,
until game time decision an hour before,
right.
which wasn't even Sunday, it was Monday because they played Monday night to start the season. So like it was Saturday, Sunday, Monday where he was not included on the injury report, which is against the rules. And if the NFL would actually follow through with the punishment for that, teams would not do it. But because they don't,
Here we
teams
are.
are like, all right, we'll just play a little cat and mouse game with you. They'll be like, well, we're not certain about what the injury is this week because then the defense has to prepare for Christian McCaffrey.
Absolutely.
And so it's smart. If the NFL is not going to follow through, then
Right.
I would.
Yeah.
I'd
I
be
would
like,
too.
I don't know.
And I think the only reason's true. I mean, it's for gambling reasons. It's
Yeah.
the money that's being spent in Vegas on that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's billions of millions of dollars being spent a weekend.
It's probably close to billions.
Probably close to billions.
With like all the states being added to
Yeah.
legal gambling. Idaho still isn't.
Yeah, not yet.
Can you change that for us?
I mean, possibly.
Okay, what the audience doesn't know is that you're a little bit involved in politics.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
And yeah, I'm gonna lean on you hard.
Lean on
that
me
you
hard for
change
that.
This. I just want to be able to gamble in my own state
Personal
on
opinion.
sports.
Personal opinion. I think that it's your money.
Yeah.
You should be able to do what you want.
Yeah.
Idaho is a very Republican conservative state where we believe that
Why?
we should
Since
have
when are
liberties.
Republicans anti-money?
Exactly. And we also believe that we should be able to have liberty to do what we want with our money. I would say that it comes from the old hardcore morale, the morality side.
It's like
that's where you kind of see
the
it.
old school baseball people.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
clutching their pearls.
Exactly. So,
oh my stars, sports gambling. Oh my stars.
and this is my thought. If you just throw a little minor tax on that transaction fee tax that the state gets just for allowing it, here we go.
I mean,
Let's go, Idaho. I mean, to give you a little background of where we're at, 2006, Idaho was our expenditure budget was $6.5 billion. Now, here we are in 2024. We are at $14.5 billion. So we are spending a lot more money than we used to on separate programs, different things for education, which is fine. I think education needs to be spent on at
with
times.
inflation. That doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me either.
We're talking about what you said, 2006, 18 years.
Yeah,
18 years going from 6 to 14.
Yeah,
seems
so,
normal.
Oh, I'm behind it, but what I think we should do is start finding ways to allow our Idahoans to be able to do more things they want to,
and tax them on it.
and then if you want to, just tax on it.
I mean,
Keep our taxes low and let those taxes pay for stuff.
how much? I mean, look at all the states that have legalized marijuana.
Yeah,
Their economies are through the roof because they're taxing it.
they are.
And all these dispensaries are paying massive amounts of money to the state every day.
Every day. Yeah,
And Idaho just cannot compete with that kind of revenue.
it's true.
We have state liquor stores. That's our revenue,
Which isn't great anyways.
it's pointless because you're limiting the amount of places people can go buy liquor.
Mm-hmm. What I would like Idaho
you're not adding revenue. You're just replacing it elsewhere.
Right.
Like it's not changing anything.
No, what I would love to see Idaho starting to allow is hemp production. So hemp in the state of Idaho is illegal as well. Which hemp
Is illegal
to grow and to produce.
Well, what do you believe are the reasons for that?
Because people don't know the difference between a marijuana plant and hemp.
Because hemp, if I know this correctly, hemp is the male
Yes,
component of the marijuana plant.
it is.
Whereas THC is the female component.
Yeah, THC,
Because
CBD comes from the
Bitches
marijuana.
be crazy.
Let's get real here.
Yeah.
What I love about hemp is that hemp is such an amazing textile. So back in the day, hemp was used for all of the ropes. When people used to make rope, it was hemp. Hemp does not rot. It does not deteriorate. When you dry hemp, it is one of the strongest plants out there. It's one of the strongest fibers out there.
Yeah, I heard that actually. I heard that like it can be used for all kinds of crazy things.
Yep. Sacks, burlap sacks. I mean, what are we going to use that for? But besides potatoes in Idaho.
Know. You never know. Everyone could use a nice burlap sack, I think.
You never know. Yeah. But I mean, just going back to it, like I said, state of Idaho, we pride ourselves on our liberty. We pride ourselves on our conservatism. Apparently, the English language is hard for me today.
English is hard.
Conservatism.
Conservatism.
Conservatism. Thank you. You're
welcome.
That's the 48-hour brain right there.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Catching up to you.
It is catching up to me. But yeah. So why don't we just start letting people do what they want to do within the means of not hurting anybody else?
Yeah.
And let's go Idaho, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I've got lots of senators and representatives that I can talk to about that, but they're fighting bigger.
Just tell them your brother wants to gamble. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, Mark?
Yeah. Going to North Carolina in 2.5 weeks.
Oh, excited
It is
for you.
legal to gamble there. Although, slight hiccup in the plans. Found out today.
Uh-oh.
First of all, thoughts and prayers to everybody going through the hurricane over in the East Coast and in the South. Obviously, devastating to lose your home,
Oh, my
to
gosh.
lose your livelihood from a storm. terrible. I'm so glad we live here, where there isn't any sort of tragic.
Nothing.
There's no sort of disaster that will ever happen big enough to do any of that to us.
No,
which is lovely.
The worst thing we had was the ice storm in '96.
The worst thing we have is liberals coming here.
Well, that's true
That's
too.
it.
That's true.
What are they going to do to my house?
Just make it cost more.
Yeah,
But you're already in it.
that's
so
fine though. It's still a roof.
It's still a roof. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. So, anyways, the route that we were taking from the airport to our Airbnb, which is like a 3-hour drive, that highway was completely destroyed by flooding.
Well, that's not
so
good.
now our route is like 5.5 hours,
Oh.
and so we're keeping an eye on it. We might be calling a last minute audible
It might be a good idea.
and going somewhere else.
I'm guessing the Airbnb will let you do that.
Yeah, I think we have up
a certain
to
day.
like 72 hours out or
No,
something to
that's-
get a
that's
full
good.
refund. Flights, we're still gonna have to fly there. None of us got trip protection on our flights, but
Yeah, that's true. You still have to go. Yeah.
yeah, but there are other places in North Carolina that are fine. So
Yeah.
it just happens to be that the route that we were gonna take is currently underwater and landslide. There's like
Probably not the safest.
6 feet of mud on the highway
Oh,
for miles and miles and miles.
that'll take months and months.
Maybe. So we got 2.5 weeks, so fingers crossed it'll get better.
Yeah.
They'll be able to clear it. I'm sure it's a priority.
Oh, for sure. Well, we'll see. We'll see how much FEMA puts into that.
Asheville, North Carolina is the city. Looks like a beautiful place. I was just looking at it today. It looks incredible. And, well, until
Until it
yesterday.
was crushed yesterday.
Yeah. And the water is like first floor, top of the windows on like every building in town. Because it's like in a little valley surrounded by mountains. And they had like a side-by-side picture of the highway going into town. And it's like 2 lanes this way, 2 lanes this way, bridge over the head. And it's like before and after is just a muddy river.
Right.
Like you can't see anything. You can't see trees. You can't see, like you can, like it's almost to the bridge. It's bad.
This is a quick point here. So that's going to cause insurance rates for newer purchases to pop up if you are part of like a nationwide home insurance company, like a State Farm or something like that. So this was a point that was given me when I was buying my first house, is to find a local home insurance company.
I think I have one.
Do you?
I think so.
I'm with Gem State here in Idaho. It's only an Idaho home insurance company for that purpose.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So State Farms forks out a lot of money to help out North Carolina, and then charges all their customers extra.
Absolutely. The
To
next
recoup.
time that their renewals come up.
That's how money works.
It is.
I don't know who my insurance is. I think that it's Alliant Northwest, maybe?
Oh, yeah, okay. Reliant Northwest.
Reliant Northwest,
So
perhaps?
they're the ones that your brokers are. It's probably with Gem State then.
Yeah. I think it's local.
Yeah. Reliant is in Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah.
That's the brokers for it. So,
Yeah. Anyways, more football. We had some pretty crazy storylines this week, I thought. Some teams look terrible. Some teams look good. The Commanders and Jaden Daniels look awesome.
and for fantasy football, he's just sitting on my bench. Because CJ Stroud is still putting out.
Yeah.
But
Fantasy.
I'm pretty
How's fantasy
excited.
going for you?
I'm 3-1 now.
Nobody likes you, first of all. I'm 0-4.
I saw that.
I'm in dead last. in
I
our
saw
league.
that.
I have a sports show,
Well,
and I'm dead last. Explain this to me. How am I dead last? I'm in another league,
yeah.
4-0.
Well, there you go. Same team?
I drafted with the exact... No,
Oh.
obviously not.
Well, you never know.
I drafted with the exact same strategy. And one team is performing really well. The other team is not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Truthfully,
I
this
drafted 5th in a 12-team league in that league, and I drafted 7th in a 12-team league in our league, and I'm 0-4 and 4-0. That's just fantasy football.
It
baby.
is.
That's
It's
just
true.
how it goes.
Well, and like this weekend, I didn't think I was gonna win. I was playing Iggy, and he's got Josh Allen. 8 points for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
That going into that game, you had like a 25% chance of winning, and that just kept going up and up
Yep.
and up and up and up.
And then DK Metcalf had a decent game. He had a lot of touches, but same thing.
I almost beat Judy. I was down going into Monday. I think I was down 20, and I had Jackson Smith and Jigba, and I had Amon-Ra St. Brown, and she had Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, man.
And I kept like creeping up, and going into Seattle's final drive with the ball,
Yep.
where they threw 2 balls into the end zone to Jackson Smith and Jigba that were not complete for a touchdown.
Nope.
I was down 3.6 points.
Oh, if he had just caught them.
I was like, I need like 2 catches for 20 yards, or I need a touchdown, and I win this.
Yeah.
2 balls in the end zone to him, neither of them complete for a touchdown, and I lost. So,
It kind of reminds me.
But nobody likes Judy anyways. So
Oh, that's true. Love you, Judy.
that's the speak for yourself.
That,
0-4. I play my wife next week. I told her she's got to throw the game.
she asked you.
She has to. I'm 0-4. I mean,
Pete Rose
it's
it.
only right. Yeah.
I mean,
Unbelievable.
Pete Rose didn't throw him, but
Right.
just,
He just bet on it.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah. We should
well-
probably wrap things up.
Yeah. My one thought is the Bears. What are you thinking? They're still. I'm a little bothered by our quarterback right now.
No, the quarterback's fine. I think Caleb Williams is going to be
He
good.
needs to stop painting his fingernails, though. It bothers me a little bit.
Whatever. Let the man do what he wants.
It's true. It's true. I was just talking about letting us do something.
Yeah. Come on. Speaking out of both sides. It's a classic politician.
Yeah, you know,
Say one thing over here and turn around and bash over here.
it's true.
No, I think he's really good. I think that they cannot block. He is running for his life on every single play, but he keeps getting better. Week to week, he's better.
Yep.
I thought on Sunday he looked pretty good. What? They're 2-2, right?
He looked comfortable on
they
Sunday.
2-2?
They are 2-2. Yeah.
He's not bad.
No.
I honestly think he's good. I think Jaden Daniels is getting all the hype right now, but I think Caleb Williams is going to have a better career.
I think so too. I think they see that they can build. I mean,
He has no
they
time.
need an O-line.
He has no time whatsoever.
None.
Their offensive line is dreadful. Worst in the league. He's running for his life on every play. There is no time for a second read. If the first read isn't open, he's running.
He's running.
And he's trying to just
Throwing
survive.
it out of bounds or getting
The real question is he going to stay healthy in November? Because he takes way too many hits.
Yep.
We know that he's a tough kid, painted fingernails and all. Because we watched him at USC.
Oh, yeah. All 4 years.
Tough kid, competitor, but they have to be able to protect him.
Yeah. 100%.
And I think last week, like the left tackle was out and he already sucks. And so his backup, who must suck worse, was in. So I don't know what to think. I was going to say to the audience, you are a Bears fan.
I am a Bears fan. I like being disappointed a little bit.
Yeah. You've been a Bears fan for a long time.
I have. Man, probably like 10 or 11 years old.
We're a weird fandom family.
You know, it is goofy.
You're a Bears fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. Eric's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Steven is a Vikings fan.
Ben's a Seahawks
Ben's
fan.
a Seahawks fan. I don't think the sisters care.
They just like good football.
Mom's,
She's a Cowboys fan.
is she?
Yeah.
She's kind of a Packers fan, isn't she? Like Grandpa.
Oh, yeah, she kind of
I
was.
think she just likes the underdog.
She always has.
It's always been the thing.
That's where I get that.
Who's worse? That's who I like.
I'm going to go for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Eric's her favorite.
You're not wrong. You know, Mom did tell me one time. She said your favorite is the one that you have to put the most work into.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I see that a little bit with my kids. Because you can
Yeah.
always rely on your good ones to just be good.
Yeah. Well, Luca's my favorite. He's a handful.
Yeah, there you
A
go.
constant
Yeah,
handful.
yeah.
That kid lives his own life regardless of whether I exist or not. Isn't that crazy?
It's
He's
true.
3. He's 3 years old.
Well, when I showed up tonight, he's hanging out on the front step, just doing his thing. I was
chilling.
like, bro, don't you want to go inside?
I was bringing back a whole bunch of cabinet doors from the job site yesterday. And he goes, I want to go in Daddy's truck. And I was like, all right. So I put him back there and I was just like, hey, hand me a cabinet door. And he goes, okay. And he's 3. And these things are like solid wood, not light.
Yeah.
I figured he'd like grab a little one and struggle with it and get bored and go, not deal with it. And he just picks it up 2 hands, walks it over, hands it to me. And he goes, I grab the next one. I was like, grab the next one. So I grab it, set it down, turn around. And he's like holding the next one ready for me. He unloaded the entire truck.
That's awesome.
He's 3 years old.
Yeah, that's great.
And like these are like 5-10 pound doors, cabinet doors. And he's just like, no, like, no big deal. I'm like, who are you, child? Why are you such a psycho?
That's great.
But then at the same time, like, I can be like, you know, like that's super helpful, like an incredible moment with me and him. And usually it's me being like, hey, don't do that or come do this, and him disregarding my existence entirely.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is not something I'm accustomed to. My kids listen to me.
As do mine.
I make them listen to me.
It's true.
And yeah, he just is like, wait, who are you again?
Yeah.
This is me in my life over here. Thank you very much. It's crazy.
Thanks
He's
for-
obsessed with the lawnmower. I have no idea why.
Well, he was obsessed with the boat.
Mm-hmm.
On our
He
trip.
goes to the shed where the lawnmower is. He pulls it out, and he just sits there and plays with the pull cord, like trying to get it to start, which he can't. Thank goodness.
Right.
But he just sits there and he plays with it, and he plays with it, and he plays with it. He'll do it for 2 hours.
Wow.
And we're just in the house. Like, nobody's outside with him. He's just outside by himself playing with the lawnmower.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, whatever.
Huh.
Let's keep it in preoccupied. Anyways,
NHL season coming up,
1 week.
so we'll talk
Next
about that
week.
next week.
Stay posted next week. A little NHL preview. And
We
yeah.
get to see where Bear lands.
Big baseball show this week.
Great.
Big hockey show next week.
Absolutely.
We'll have to catch up on your beer league hockey stuff as well.
I
next
will.
week.
I will be playing next week.
Awesome. Right on, Jeffrey. Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned for part 2.
Have a good night.